Welcome back, guys. You can see the lions are not really doing much. They're sort of digesting, lying around flat, but it is the right time of the day for other predators like hyenas to start moving. Just in case some of you are joining us a little bit late and haven't got the full update, we're with the Nkuhmas pride of lions, and they killed the young hippo in the early hours of this morning, found them on morning game drive, and we've come back to follow up. We're hoping that maybe a hyena moves through the area and starts vocalizing and calls some other hyenas. You never know. There hasn't been much wind today, so I don't think the scent spread too far. But also, it's always very interesting. You see the flies around the carcass. Buzzing, 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 laying eggs. Baby flies have to eat too. You can see quite a lot of the fat layers from at the back have been eaten, and now they're onto sort of that very pinkish meat. The hippo meat is quite a lot lighter in color than, say, buffalo meat. And there we go. You can see those almost grotesque bellies on those lions. But while they're not doing anything, and we're sitting in right next to the kill, we're going to have a quick look at a few trees around us and give you a chance to identify them, and all the answers for the questions I'm about to ask. You can send the answers via email to questions at WildEarth.tv, or you can just use the hashtag SafariLive if you're on Twitter. So I think we're going to start off with a nice easy one. I'll use my spotlight to point. You can have a look there. That is the tree. I'll give you a hint. It is the most common tree species in this area of the Sabi Sands. And who can tell me what its name is? The most common tree species in this area of the Sabi Sands. You can send your answers to questions at wildearth.tv, or just use the hashtag SafariLive if you're on Twitter. Hi, Christine from Wisconsin. Christine's saying the animals that they have in Wisconsin, like white-tailed deer and bears, get a very distinct winter coat as the winter onsets. She'd like to know, and they shed that in the spring, do lions, impala, leopard, hyenas, other animals we get around here get that distinct winter coat? Christine, I think their fur maybe does get a little bit thicker, but nothing like you can compare to a northern hemisphere animal. You must realize what we consider cold is probably a balmy day for you. So, I mean, we're sitting at the beginning of winter, and I'd say our average daytime temperature is probably at the highest point pushing around 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And the coldest we're getting at night at the moment is probably 10 degrees Celsius, which is, I'm terrible at conversions, but I know it's probably around, I think, no, it can't be that low, 45, 50 Fahrenheit. So they don't get that very distinct winter coat that you can see in animals that have to deal with incredibly harsh winters and huge fluctuations between summer and winter temperatures. So, listening carefully to see if we can hear anything coming, but we've got some really good listening hearing aids with us today, called the Nkuhmas Pride. If a hyena was going to arrive, I think they would hear it far before us, and we could tell from their body language that something was up. Okay, guys, we're going to cross over to Scotty while there's not much happening here. But don't worry, we're not going anywhere. And as I always say, patience is probably the best weapon in your arsenal when it comes to seeing those really incredible sightings. So hopefully Scott's got something great for you. And I'll see you again a little bit later, hopefully with not so sleepy lions.
Welcome back, everyone, and I believe the lions are still quite lazy and there's nobody that's arrived to give them a hard time yet. But in the meantime, have a look in this tree. And we were just talking earlier this afternoon on drive about looking for silhouettes or strange shapes in trees to help you find animals, and you'll notice there is a strange shape in this tree. And on closer inspection, VM will reveal who we found. It's the first time I've managed to show you one of these awesome, awesome animals, and I'm really excited about it. Oh, good evening. A massive, massive owl called a Verreaux eagle owl, or what used to be known as a giant eagle owl. Would you like me to shine the spotlight, Liam? Just the periphery. And you'll notice it's got beautiful, bright pink eyelids when it looks at us. And it's probably about 2 feet high, and a formidable hunter. They can take down prey as large as vervet monkeys and occasionally small antelope. And interestingly enough, Brent managed to show you one of these last night as well. So we're getting very lucky with the owls.
Head straight west and take the western access roads from the...
Apologies, I've got my game drive channel going. We've got new radios at the moment, and even though their technology is better than the old ones, some of their mechanisms are a bit flawed, and one of them is you cannot turn the volume down when people are talking. Now it's down there. We need to just be patient, because I really would like it to look at us. It seems very intent on something, and they've got incredible hearing as well as sight. And maybe it can hear something down there. That's the reason why they have a very flat facial disc. It acts like a massive satellite. Oh, here comes a fork-tailed drongo, and if VM zooms out a little bit, we may see it just above the owl. And fork-tailed drongos are renowned for doing that, flying and pecking birds of prey on the head. The David and Goliath battle. And I've just been updated that also in Brent sighting with the same owl, or same species of owl, oh, they're the pink eyelids, you may have got a glimpse of them. But in Brent sighting yesterday, there were also some fork-tailed drongos in attendance mobbing the bird. And you sometimes even see these fork-tailed drongos flying after birds of prey, pecking them on the head. Wouldn't it be fascinating if we saw it launch out from here and catch something? It's something I've rarely seen birds of prey making kills. and it would be a wonderful thing to witness. And as VM pans out, the silhouette that we saw a bit earlier when we found this owl is becoming more and more prominent. And again, a good example of what to look for. You can see it's a very abnormal vertical stance, and with leopards or kills it would be the opposite. The vertical part of the animal would often be dangling not above the branch but below the branch. But you certainly can see there's something wrong in that tree when you have a glance at it, and that's because there's a massive owl perched in it. I'm trying to just shine the periphery of the spotlights onto the owl, just to light it enough for us to see, and that we're having a minimal impact on its evening. The nocturnal animals like owls and leopards and lions, their eyes can readjust to darkness very well because that's what their eyes are designed to do, whereas their prey species we would avoid shining on because that would temporarily blind them, making for an easy target for any of the predators. Well, it seems to be hearing two different things, one directly to the right of it and one directly to the left of it. Thankfully for owls, they've got an incredible ability to twist their head almost 180 degrees, and they can look, there we go, on cue. They can twist their head in every direction imaginable, making for easy maneuvering and not having to jump around and hop from branch to branch in order to look around. They simply just pivot their head. There, those pink eyelids again. There's quite a few bushveld gerbils, a small rodent, which live in this area. I often see their tracks on the road, and maybe that's what it's hunting, even though it's capable of catching big prey. Just like lions. Oh, watch closely. Oh! I wonder if it caught something. We're just going to wait to see if it flies off. It was incredibly silent, that flight, and that is one of their... Let's see if we can roll forward. No, I'm going to have to start the engine, but I'm just going to get a bit of momentum and then creep forward silently. Try and get a glimpse and see what it's doing. I hope it's got lucky. I think it has. It's feeding, it's feeding. This is awesome. Please don't fly away. Just want to have a look at what you're eating. Oh! Well, it did land, and it's getting already attacked. I'm sorry. Let me try and find a better gap. There we go. And if we watch closely now, we will see it continuing to feed. It caught something small. I couldn't see what it was there. The fork-tailed drongo is giving it a really hard time. And look at the beautiful purple sky in the background. What an awesome, awesome sighting this is. I just wish I knew what it was that it caught. It could have been one of the bushveld gerbils. basically a rat-sized rodent. But VM, you did see it feeding.
Yep, definitely.
Cool. It wasn't just me imagining things. I tend to get overexcited in situations like this and just need to double check I wasn't imagining things. Look at how beautiful the sky is in the background. We've just seen one of the apex aerial predators doing its business, running after me, just saying I've never seen an owl make a kill, and very seldom see birds of prey catching anything. And it certainly was staring intently in that direction before it flew off so silently, and VM did a great job in showing the owl land down in the grass. We couldn't see what it had caught, but on closer inspection we saw it feeding on something. Now it's got two fork-tailed drongos giving it a hard time, and VM's just giving an idea that it has flown quite far away, and sadly we are not going to be able to get you a better view of it from here, and it's just flown off. Wonderful, VM. I hope you enjoyed that, and folks, that was something very unique, something that has never happened in all of the years that I've spent guiding, and it's coming on 7 years now that I've been doing this. So I'm really happy and glad we got to show you some good owl action, and it's been an interesting afternoon. We've seen what was the other bird we saw make a kill earlier? I've forgotten, but I remember saying that we had seen one animal make a kill, a tiny animal, after seeing lions feeding on a hippo, and now seeing an owl catch a small rodent. So I'm guessing a wonderful, wonderful evening. So we're going to carry on now and see what else we can find. And in the meantime, I think it's certainly worth heading back to Brent and getting an update on what the lion are up to. We'll see you later.
Welcome back, guys. As you can see, very, very little happening with the Nkuhmas pride at the moment. But I believe you guys had a fantastic sighting with Scott of a hunting Verreaux eagle owl. I'm a little bit jealous at the moment. But very, very happy, fat, lazy cats. We made the mistake of parking downwind so we could get a better view of them. And they happen to be very flatulent cats as well. So every now and then, Brian and I get blasted with a really, really putrid smell of decay that comes from inside a lion's stomach.
A very foul aroma.
Yeah, foul aroma. That's exactly how to describe it. But worthwhile to be sitting next to a pride of lions. As you can see, the sun's setting. We're going to zoom in on one of the flatulent cats. We're definitely going to hang around here. This is the time of the evening when another predator like a hyena might be moving around and might stumble upon the remains of this carcass and this pride of lions. So it is a very interesting time to be with them. Even though they are static and not moving, it is worth staying with them. Good evening, Tom, from New Mexico. Tom is asking me, what is the funniest thing I've ever seen an animal do? Oof, Tom, that's quite a question. Which animal? I've seen lots of different animals do lots of funny things. But since we're sitting next to some flat cats, and this is a good example about how a flat cat sighting can turn into a really great, interesting sighting in a matter of seconds. I was in northern Botswana. I was actually with my dad, and we had some guests at the safari lodge that we used to have up there, and we were watching a pride of lions pretty much doing this. They were a little bit more hungry than this, so we knew they were going to move and start hunting. So we'd probably been sitting there for about 2 hours waiting for some action. And all the lions are spread out, lying pretty much exactly like this. And then along down the road, came a honey badger. And honey badgers seem to walk like they own the African bushveld. They are not scared of anything. So this honey badger came down the road, sort of its arms out and marching. And he looked at the lions, and he saw them, and he carried on walking straight past the lions. He was probably only about 25 meters from the lions. And very similar to this pride, there was a young male lion of about the same age as this young male been watching this evening. And he saw this honey badger. The lionesses sort of just did that, sleeping, look up, I'm not messing with that. Pop their head down and carry on. And so the honey badger carries on. This young male lion runs up, big bowl of dust and tussle, and you just heard the most incredible noises coming out of this. And this honey badger's trying to bite this lion. This lion's growling. He doesn't know what to do anymore. And so it ends up that this male lion has got his paw on the middle of the honey badger, and he's trying to stay as far away from the honey badger as possible. And he just keeps his paw on it. And then after about 20 minutes, the lionesses sort of get up and they start stretching and start walking off down the road. This male lion has still got this honey badger, and now he doesn't know what to do. You can see him looking at the honey badger and then looking at the lionesses disappearing. He looks at the honey badger, looks at the lionesses disappearing. So as the lionesses sort of disappear out of sight, he sort of gets up enough courage, oh, my ear's falling out, to do something. And you can almost see him counting in his head, sort of 1, 2, 3, and he pushes this honey badger flat into the ground and then sprints away. And the honey badger chases him for a good 150, 200 meters, but obviously a male lion's much too fast for a honey badger to catch. But sorry, just excuse me. Go ahead, Candace.
Thanks, Brent. Just doing a radio check for my kayak.
Copy, no problem. So one of the lionesses got up and started feed. We're just going to move the vehicle here. Oh, wrong. So you can just see there, I'm just going to move the vehicle so we can be in a better position to keep the spotlight still on the lion. Brian's just checking, make sure another lion hadn't gone and flopped down directly behind us. They do that from time to time. I'm just trying to position the spotlight nicely for you guys. Working tonight. It was so perfect the other night. Hi, Kim from Kansas City. Welcome on the Sunset Safari with the Nkuhmas Pride, feeding on a hippo carcass. Kim would like to know, if the lions were to leave this carcass, would a leopard scavenge? Most definitely, Kim. If there was not another major predator around there, a leopard would definitely scavenge. I've seen leopard feeding on an elephant carcass before, and hippo carcasses. Those have died from natural causes, but a leopard would scavenge if these lions weren't here. a nice big piece of fat. Welcome, Trisha. Nice that you join us, even though it is a little bit late. Trisha's just saying she's just logged in, and she would like a recap on what we're seeing. Well, Trisha, I'll give you a quick recap. So this morning I heard a report of the Nkuhmas Pride just north of our boundary. So Brian and I came down, we checked this area, we found tracks, and then we found where they'd chased a giraffe and they missed. And then Andrew came into the area to help me, and we were checking down further to the east, and Andrew then came along this road and spotted the lions from the road. And what looks like happened here, Trisha, is that there was a fight with its mother. The mother is actually in the dam. We're very close to Buffelshoek Dam. Buffelshoek Dam is probably about 150, 200 meters away from us. And the reason we can tell that is more from the tracks here. There's a lot of, from where the mother was chasing and turning around, obviously the lion's chasing and trying to grab the baby. So just from the amount of ground that's been flattened in this general area, it does look like it. In this part of the Sabi Sands, a hippo could be considered an unusual prey for lions, but they are not generally unusual prey. There's a lot of lions in other places, Africa, that specialize in hippos, like the South Luangwa in Zambia. But it does look like they fought with the mother and were able to separate the calf for long enough from the mother for them to kill it. And it doesn't look like any of the lions got hurt during this process. One of the reasons that a lion might not want to go for a hippo is because of how dangerous and how big their teeth are. So it's very dangerous for a lion to try to take a hippo. And we can see how thick that skin is there. Isn't that incredible? So she's using her incisors on the side of her mouth to cut through the skin. Or decided it was too thick, she was going to try for something a bit softer. But Trisha, it is unusual in this area, but not unusual for lions. But one thing we also got to remember, that a lot of animal behavior is area specific, not species specific. So guys, we're going to stay here with these lions, and if any action happens, we will let you know immediately. But we're going to link across to Scott. He's got a really big surprise for you. I don't even know what it is, so I'm also quite interested to find out. So off to Scott.
Oh, what a beautiful evening it is here at Djuma Private Game Reserve in the Sabi Sands. We've been spoiled today, and like we do get spoiled most days, Brent's been on most of the action today with the lions, but even I got lucky with the Verreaux eagle owl making a kill. Who would have thought we would see that? That was really cool. And I've got some really, really exciting news. Now, just to let you know, the radio comms that we've been using to chat on Game Drive have been changed. Various lodges have gone digital, and therefore the communications between us is a bit difficult. So anyway, I bumped into Roy a little bit earlier on this evening, and he's just told me that he has seen Karula, and when he saw her, he noticed that she had suckling marks from where cubs have been suckling. So it's basically 99% confirmed that Karula does in fact have cubs currently. Roy says she's just south of Twin Dams in the Mulwati drainage, so there's a strong chance she could bring those cubs back up. So this is the information we've got. I'll believe it when I see it for myself, but I'm fairly certain it's true and something to look forward to. And that's what we're going to follow up on first thing tomorrow morning, as well as Brent with the Lions to see how they get on with the feeding on the buffalo. Either way, great opportunities and prospects for tomorrow morning's drive. I hope you can all tune in. If not, you'll have to tune in the afternoon for an update. Anyway, a huge thank you from myself to all of you, the viewers, also to VM for his great camera work, and Tara and Nikki in the final control. See you all tomorrow.